The news today seems inundated with an outcry against climate change inaction. David Attenborough himself has said, "Whatever we do now, it's too late now to avoid climate change." Yet, Australia, along with a handful of other countries, actually voted against significant action in the 2015 UN Climate Change Conference, and still today, we're not on track to meet our 2030 greenhouse gas pollution target. Climate change is increasingly a source of heated and passionate topical debate within our society. With so many politicians outrightly denying its existence and dismissing the impacts and effects on the planet, it begs the question, why is climate change denialism so rampant? Well, denialism certainly isn't a new phenomenon, though its presence has been on the increase since the beginning of the 20th century. Between 1999 and 2008, South Africa's president, Thabo Mbeki, repeatedly denied the link between HIV and AIDS. Despite enormous contrary evidence, Mbeki resisted antiretroviral treatments, with his AIDS denialism failing to prevent an estimated 343,000 deaths. Similarly, in response to evidence supporting the link between tobacco and disease, the Advancement of Sound Science Coalition, which was heavily funded by the tobacco industry, resisted the science and sought to undermine the United States EPA reports, going so far as to equate environmentalists with Nazis and denying the evidence of the adverse long-term health effects due to smoking. Ironically, 25 years ago, climate science in Australia was well studied, documented and presented to the public. In 1998, a study named the Australian public as the best informed about climate change on the planet. As Dr. Taylor highlights in a study on Australia's changing narrative, that the Australian economy has always been sustained on the usage and the trade of non-renewable fossil fuels, and that the sheer cost and effort of transforming to clean energy is immense. Thus, since 1998, rising awareness and scientific research that might threaten the nation's economy, political leadership and control has been suppressed, or in some cases, blatantly denied. CSIRO climate scientist David Carrolley recently came forward with long-held concerns over the independence of scientific advice, warning CSIRO's leadership had become very nervous about funding allocations and were often reluctant to publicly criticize the federal government. Murdoch media, using this reluctance, frequently frames climate change scientists and response as uncertain and unnecessary, pushing conversations regarding Australia's future in climate action to the sideline. We might consider where this resistance, denial, and pseudo-research is coming from. Who is funding such ambiguous publications, and what might their motives be for doing so? Have we reached an age where the freedom to pursue an objective truth is gradually becoming impossible? Have we reached an era where denialism is a popular refuge? Have we reached a time where political controversy hides behind the unpalpable reality of science? Whatever the reality might be, it's important to remember that science is more than opinion. It has very real implications and has very real consequences. Denying it does not simply make it go away.